Hey, so I was working with some cool stuff in augmented reality and I created these runners.
But what's also crazy is that for the untrained eye, all of these athletes are running in very different ways. This guy all the way to the left is probably a distance runner, and this guy all the way to the right is probably a sprinter. If it were the other way around though, these athletes would be putting themselves at risk of an ankle, knee, hip, or even back injury. Even if you don't run often, understanding Footstrike is really important in preventing damage and injury to your body.
I'm really excited for these visuals because I would like to show you the intricacies of Footstrike. Quick disclaimer, I am not a doctor or biomechanics specialist. However, I have been an athlete all my life, particularly in the sport of track and field, where I actively train for the decathlon. Moreover, back in undergraduate school, I did my culminating project on the Footstrike, where my team and I were hoping to design and create a wearable that would predict running-related injuries. Naturally, we conducted academic research and interviewed specialists in order to understand the Footstrike. I believe the information that I've learned over those years was very valuable and worth sharing. But ultimately, when it comes down to running, you should not conduct a braking force, meaning putting your leg in front of you. You should always strike the ground with the foot below you.
Alright, so let's get rid of these two and discuss the heel strike. A heel strike occurs when the heel is the first point of contact on the ground. Across the globe, it is the most common form of foot strike, and researchers have argued time and again that runners who use this foot strike use less energy.
However, most of the world's elite runners do not heel strike.
Some researchers say the modern shoes encourage people to lower their heel first, which puts them at risk of injury. Here's why. When a runner hits the ground with the heel, the body experiences a short initial spike of force through the heel up the leg. Here you can in fact see the runner's body vibrate from this exaggerated impact. This impact has consequences. If we look from above, you can see that the sudden jolt of force causes the runner's knee to buckle in slightly. This is not great for the knee joints and could lead to knee pain. The hips are actually responsible for counteracting this buckle, but clearly here the hip muscles aren't strong enough. This could also mean the lower back is compensating for weak hips, which could result in back stiffness and pain. So the short, quick jolt of the heel impact requires the body to absorb energy more quickly. If the hips cannot handle the impulse, this might result in knee buckling and the back muscles compensating, resulting in knee and back pain.
As noted earlier though, a body primed for heel striking could be more efficient and beneficial for distance runners.
Now let's talk about the striking in the middle of the foot. When the foot is parallel to the ground before striking, this is called the midfoot strike. Anyone who runs barefoot typically hits the ground as a midfoot striker. It's considered a neutral position and one of the safer methods for contacting the ground. This is because the impact is spread over a longer period of time and a larger surface area, making it easier for the body to absorb the impact. You'll notice that it really is an in-between a heel strike and a forefoot strike. So let's actually talk about striking at the toe. Typically when a runner forefoot strikes, it's because they are accelerating. In acceleration, runners should be extending at the ankle, knees, and hips. This is called a triple extension, and spectators should be able to draw a line from the ankle through the spine all the way to the head. Ultimately, forefoot striking provides a lot of force for sprinters. Unlike the heel strike though, where there's a load on the knees, forefoot striking increases the load on the ankles, Achilles, and calf. While you can clearly see these areas flexing at push-off, these areas also flex to absorb the impact. You can especially see this effect in the left heel as the ankles slowly lower, then raise it.
Unfortunately, that means the ankle, Achilles, and calf are used twice as much, which could lead to corresponding injury.
Let me quickly add the middle strike. Most elite runners run between these two strike patterns, landing on the balls of their feet. This allows for the force of the forefoot strike while providing the safety of the midfoot strike. Adding the heel strike to the mix, regardless of which of these foot strikes you do, your foot should always hit the ground below your hips or slightly behind. If it were in front, this creates a braking force on your body, which is unnecessary stress and wasted energy. Additionally, to throw a wrench into all of this, one's foot can rotate inwards and outwards at impact, called pronation or supination. This might cause your knees to compensate by rotating the opposite direction, which might cause your hips to rotate back in the original direction. It comes down to that every body is built differently. What's comfortable for one person might not be comfortable for another.
In the end, remember to always see a specialist if you're experiencing discomfort. I'm hoping that this video triggered some reflection about your own foot strike and that you learned something new. Till next time.